There you go. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Yeah. Thanks a lot for being with us today. It is my great pleasure to speaking to you today representing the National Park Service. We have our colleagues with Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. We're going to be sharing some information about the national parks, these wonderful places that are set aside for your enjoyment and the enjoyment of the American public. There's so many opportunities and so many places to go visit across our beautiful country. 420 some odd national parks. We have seashores, we have wilderness areas, we have urban areas. The beauty of today is I was actually able to bring some rangers with us. I'm a national park ranger. My name is Lavelle Merritt. I work here at Texas A&M as an adjunct professor. I run a program called the Pro Ranger Program. And that program teaches students about who we are in the National Park Service, our mission, our organic act, our history, and really get some young people engaged in the outdoors, in protection, as law enforcement rangers. I've got a couple here with me today that'll share a little bit about their experience, but before I do that, we have some of our Texas A&M Aggies with us here today, like many of you out here, that will share their experiences this summer serving in internships in our national parks. So I'm going to invite them up. They're going to tell you a little bit about their experience, and then just a little housekeeping. After this, we have 2 workshops. There will be a National Park Service workshop talking about volunteering, career opportunities, season opportunities in room 200, AGLS. We're going to start just about 10:30. And then there's another workshop, same time, in AGLS 127 with Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. Our wonderful partners here from Texas Parks and Wildlife Department are here. If you want to see both, that's fine. They'll be about 40 minutes each. So if you want to go and hear about the national parks, at 11:30, we're going to switch. So we'll go 10:30 to about 11:30, same presentation, same rooms, 11:30 to 12:30. So just either meet me, NPS, in room 200, or meet Ola and Brittany. Did I get it right? Yes, Brittany will be in 127. All right, so I'm going to pass the microphone. They're going to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they did this past summer.
Howdy. My name is Alexis Gerard. I am a junior recreation park and science major from College Station, Texas. But most importantly, I am the loudest and the proudest member of the Fighting Texas Aggie class of 2021. Hey, woo! I'm here to tell you a little bit about my experience with the National Park Service over the summer. I had an internship with Harpers Ferry National Historical Park. While I was there, instead of working the front lines like my 2 friends over here, I worked in an administrative office doing work like writing agreements, making documents, assisting with the superintendent on like some of his work. And it's a little bit different than like what people do on the front lines. It's an office job, so if you do love parks and you love being inside, I definitely would suggest trying an administrative internship. It's great, you learn a lot of things, and it'll definitely set you up for a management role in the future.
Howdy, my name is Julia Reggio. I'm not going to do the full Aggie intro because I don't know it. I am a junior RBTS student here at Texas A&M, class of 21, but I had the pleasure of serving an internship at Jean Lafitte National Historic Park and Preserve. Yes, it's a mouthful. I served at Chalmette Battlefield and also Barataria Preserve, doing mostly educational programs and a lot of ranger talks, different front lines, like Alexis was saying, activities. So I was more out roving, talking to a lot of people, but also I was doing a little side research on the side. So right now I'm actually gearing up to go back to the park and plan an event for Christmas. Around Christmas time, it's going to be our Yuletide celebration where we base it off of 1800s customs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunities for living history, volunteer improvement, getting old volunteers to come back in. And also we're going to be partnering with an outside association that works in our area in Chalmette. So I had a lot of opportunities this summer to really network and get to know a ton of really great people in my community. Luckily, I'm from New Orleans, so it was easy for me to have housing where I was working in the park. But I really enjoyed myself, and I really enjoyed going to work in a place that everybody smiled because they were at work. They left behind everything else, but I swear, when they came into work, everybody had a great attitude, and I knew it was the place where I want to end up.
Howdy, everybody. Good morning. My name is Adam Beltran, and this summer I had the opportunity to work at Joshua Tree National Park as an interpretive ranger. I enjoyed the heck out of it. My office every day was at the Oasis of Mara, which was one of the oldest trade lines in the United States. I did a lot of interpretation work with education. I would do ranger chats every morning, ranger talks in the evening, campfire talks, and my favorite was roving and going out and interacting with every single guest that came through. I had a lot of fun, and it is a great opportunity to be able to work for your National Park Service. You learn a lot. You get to display all your abilities and everything that encompasses you, and be able to just speak freely and be open about your national park that you work at. Interning is a great opportunity to get out there, to learn, to educate yourself, to educate others, and to move forward in your career with National Park Services. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Adam and Julia and Alexis. I was able to visit all these guys this past summer. Fantastic work they did, really making a difference for visitors that come and see our national parks, to really learn who we are. I'm going to save my rangers just for a bit. I want to give my partners with Texas Parks and Wildlife Department the due that they deserve with all the great work that they do here right in Texas, to share about their opportunities working for Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. So Ola and Brittany, if you don't mind coming up, I'll pass the mic to you. And thank you all for being with us today. As I mentioned, there'll be 2 workshops, one in AGLS 127 with TPWD, and then the same time at about 10:30, we're going to go up to in AGLS 200 to hear about the National Park Service opportunities.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm not going to say howdy because I'm not an Aggie. I'm actually a Coug, but I'm sure you'll still welcome me with open hands. My name is Ola Ismail Alabi. I'm here with my colleague, Brittany Zepeda. We're here on behalf of Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. I work for the Human Resources Division. I'm a recruiter, and Brittany works within our State Parks Division. She is our volunteer program coordinator. So we're here today to talk to you a little bit about our agency. Most of you probably know about our agency. We have a very great relationship with Texas A&M, but I'm just going to talk to you about some of the opportunities that we have within our agency and what we do. So, let's see. Am I supposed to click this way or that way? Or this way? There we go. All right, cool. So Texas Parks and Wildlife, our mission, which is what drives everything that we do, is to manage and conserve the natural and cultural resources of the state of Texas, and also to provide hunting, fishing, and outdoor recreational opportunities for the use and enjoyment of present and future generations. That's a huge task, and we do that for the whole state. We're the only agency that is required to do that for the whole state. So we employ a lot of people and resources to help us accomplish that mission, and we do it in several different ways. We've got 13 different divisions within our agency, so anything that you need to run an organization, we have within our agency. We've got our State Parks Division, we've got Human Resources, IT, Communications, we've got all of our Natural Resource Divisions, so inland and coastal fisheries, wildlife, pretty much anything that you need to run an organization we have with, on top of that, our natural resource divisions. I'll talk to you a little bit about some of the divisions that we have. Again, communications. So as an agency, we've got a lot of communication materials. So we've got all of our brochures and our banners. We have a TV show, if anyone here has ever seen Lone Star Law. That's a show that is produced and taped by us. We've got a Facebook page, all the social media handles. We've also got a YouTube page. So obviously we have to have people to help us put that together and to run it. So within our communications divisions, we hire storytellers, photographers, journalists, editors. We've got a magazine as well that we publish, TV, radio. We've got a podcast. Also within our communications division, we have our education and outreach team that work a lot in the communities. They engage teachers, educators, people from underrepresented communities to engage them in the outdoor activities and to learn more about what we do. And then, of course, we have marketing, people that go out and market our state parks and all of the amenities that we have. Our fisheries division includes inland and coastal fisheries. Within those divisions, we hire scientists, technicians, boat captains, divers, education and community specialists. A lot of these positions are very niche and specialist type positions. So you'll see fish and wildlife technicians. They're the ones that work within our hatcheries or within our wildlife management areas. Some of them also work with rural landowners to manage the population of the wildlife animals within that area. So a lot of these positions, if you've ever been online and looked at jobs, you'll see fish and wildlife technician, and that falls within these divisions. Game wardens, we get a lot of questions about this. This falls under our law enforcement division. So has anyone here ever had an interaction with a game warden? Was it a good one? Hopefully. So we've got approximately about 500 licensed peace officers across the state of Texas. Game wardens are assigned to a county or two, just depending on the area. And they basically enforce the penal code within the state of Texas, especially when it comes to hunting and fishing and boating regulations. So if you've ever been hunting or fishing or boating, more than likely you've had some type of an interaction with a game warden. Some of just the minimum qualifications. These are just general questions that we always get. So if anyone's ever interested, or if you know anyone that's interested in becoming a game warden, you must be at least 21 years of age, have a bachelor's degree in any field, does not require to be in wildlife or criminal justice, must be a citizen, and you must be legally authorized to work in this country and possess a valid driver's license. Those opportunities do come based on the needs of the state, funding, and the legislature. As of right now, we do not know when the next cadet class is going to happen, but I do know that we're probably going to be opening up applications towards the end of this year. So if anyone is ever interested in talking to us about that, feel free to come by our table. Let me go back. Go back. Sorry. Okay. Am I going the right way? I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to go back. And it's going forward. And then when I press the other one, okay. I think we're almost there. Okay, I think I may need a little bit of help with this. Anybody? I'm trying to go back, but every time I press the back button, it's going forward. Or maybe she can control it from there. Okay, keep going. Okay, next. Yeah, there we go. All right, infrastructure. They are the people who are in charge of managing all of our infrastructure. So when it comes to all of our wildlife management areas, our fish hatcheries, our state parks, our state natural areas, our historic areas, they are the people that are in charge to make sure that those areas, whenever we have, if there's a flooding or if there's something going on with any of those buildings, they're the ones that make sure that everything is intact. Within that division, we do hire engineers and architects, designers, landscape architects, construction managers, people certified in HVAC, and those are the kind of careers that you'll find within that division. State parks is by far our biggest division because we manage all of the state parks in the state of Texas. Right now, there's about over 90 state parks and natural areas in the state of Texas in which we manage. Within that division, you can find almost anything that you're looking for. But some of the most popular positions that you'll see are superintendents, park rangers, you'll see admin positions, project managers, state park police officers, education and outreach, what's some other positions? We've got interpreters, park interpreters, cultural resources. You'll find quite a lot. GIS, historians, architects. This is, like I said, our biggest division. Support division. So this is where you'll find HR, executive office, financial resources, IT, legal, support services, and these are mainly based at our headquarters office in Austin. Wildlife. Those are our biologists. Those are the ones that I mentioned earlier that work a lot with the rural landowners to help them manage their population. So you won't find them a lot at headquarters, but you'll see them out and about in different counties. You'll find these type of positions there: GIS coordinators, herpetologists, botanists. You'll find quite an array of careers within our wildlife division. So what can you do? And this is to students here. There are many opportunities. Summer internships. Every summer we offer about 70 to 100 internships across the whole state of Texas within those many divisions that we just talked about. And so just depending on your area of interest and your area of study, I'm sure there'll be an internship opportunity available for you. We post all of our internship opportunities online on our website, on our jobs page. That usually happens around November, December of the year prior, and we close those applications around March 1st. Students usually do their internship 3 months in the summer, and it just depends on, obviously, student scheduling and the need of the agency. So if you are interested in talking to us more about internship opportunities, please feel free to stop by our booth. Minimum qualifications: 18 credit hours, 2.5 GPA, and you're currently enrolled in an accredited institution, and that's whether you're doing your bachelor's, master's, or PhD. We offer housing for a lot of our internships. So when we talk about the state parks internships, wildlife and fisheries internships, we understand that they're all spread across the state of Texas, and it may not be somewhere close to where our students live. So for that reason, we do offer housing. So luxurious resort-style housing. But that's a plus, because I know a lot of students, that's kind of one of the things that hinders students to do internships outside of where they live. And so we know that, and so we offer housing opportunities. These are just some pictures of some of our previous summer interns and the work that they do. State application, I won't go into detail about that. That's just pretty much if you're looking to work or do an internship, this is the website. We use the CAP system. We can talk more about that if you're interested. I don't want to bore you guys with that. And I'll pass it on to Brittany to talk about volunteering opportunities.
Howdy, my name is Brittany. I am the proudest member of the Fightin' Texas Aggie class of '04. Somebody said they were 21, and that really made me sad. I'm going to talk to you about the volunteer programs. As Ola said, I am the State Parks Volunteer Program Manager, and we have over 90 state parks across Texas and about 1,800 volunteers, and we hope that you will become one of those volunteers. You must be 16 or older to volunteer without a parent. We have short and long-term volunteer opportunities. You can get involved for the whole year, for your semester, for one event. We track you and your hours in an online volunteer management system. And the best part about that is you could access your hours anytime you want. So if you need to do a resume, you can look on your profile and say, oh man, I volunteered 100 hours with TPWD. I'm going to put that on my resume. It's a great way to keep track of what you've done. That's our volunteer website as well. So some of the programs that we have available to you, we have volunteer internships. Maybe you didn't get selected for a paid internship. Maybe you can't commit 40 hours a week across the summer to an internship. You can participate in a volunteer internship. Doesn't matter how many university hours you have, and you can also kind of pinpoint what you want to do. So if you are doing an internship with state parks, you are going to learn about everything a park ranger does. So if you're like me and you enjoy outdoor recreation, but you don't want to clean a bathroom, then a volunteer internship is the way to go, because you can kind of pick your scope of work. We also have the Park Host Program, and generally people think of that as retired people in their RVs, but who would love to save $1,200 a month on your home or apartment rent, right? So with a Park Host Program, you take an RV to the state park and you volunteer about 24 hours per week. In exchange for that volunteer work, we waive all the fees, your entrance fees, your RV fees, your hookup fees. So you get a place to live for free in exchange for your volunteer service. It's a great way to visit all the parks in Texas, good way to spend a summer and travel all over Texas. We have ongoing volunteer opportunities. You would dedicate a certain number of hours a week, a month to a program. There is a TPWD facility near you. In about an hour of us, we have Lake Somerville, Nails Creek State Park. We have Huntsville State Park. We also have Stephen F. Austin State Park that's very close to you. I'm sure there's a wildlife management area around here. We have angler education programs where you go out and teach youth and families how to fish. We have boater education programs, just what it sounds like, teach people how to operate their boats safely. Same thing with hunter education. So if you're interested in these kind of opportunities, these are great programs to be a part of. We also have Texas Outdoor Family. If you're a big camper, you teach families how to camp and keep that tradition alive. Camping has definitely gone to RVs, it seems like. So bringing back tent camping and teaching those skills to families who might not have done that before, it's a great and rewarding program to be a part of. We also have our Friends groups. Friends groups are nonprofits that support our parks and support our programs with TPWD. So you can be a part of a Friends group that supports the park. Even better on a resume, serve on the board of a Friends group. It's not that difficult. You make great acquaintances, good contacts within the state park system or the Parks and Wildlife system, and great contacts in the community as well. And we also have our Buffalo Soldiers program. Some of you said you were kind of interested in the history of parks. And Buffalo Soldiers are volunteers that dress in period clothing, and they tell the story of the first peacetime regiments of African American soldiers and life on the range. You don't have to be African American to participate. Women dress in prairie dresses, and we teach about Dutch oven cooking and tools that they would have used in the range and in the pioneer days and how they would live life back then. All right, so we also have our State Park Ambassador Program, and that's really our way of reaching young people and kind of growing this culture of volunteerism in young people. It's also a great way to be a part of the agency. We partner with volunteers ages 18 to 30, and you get a mentor at a nearby state park. So you have one-on-one access to a park ranger or a superintendent. They really get to know you. 13 former ambassadors have been hired into our division. That's amazing. And the ambassador coordinator was actually a former ambassador as well. You commit 40 hours of volunteering over 6 months, and you can complete 3 projects: a hands-on service project, a community outreach project, and a social media project. Part of the ambassador program is going on a 5-day backcountry camping, and from that, you receive Leave No Trace certification, Growing Up Wild training, outdoor recreation training, and Introduction to Interpretation training. What a great thing to build your resume, to say that I've already participated in all these programs that TPWD supports. We also have a VISTA program. Now, VISTA is Volunteers in Service to America. They are part of AmeriCorps, which is a federal program. But these VISTAs serve at our Texas state parks and Texas Parks and Wildlife programs. You commit 1 year of service living at poverty level, and being a student, you're used to that. So you are trying to build capacity and reach underserved families and children across Texas, building capacity of our volunteer program or outreach programs. The great thing about VISTA is at the end of your 1 year of service, you receive a $6,000 education award that you can put towards your student loans or towards furthering your education. So if you served 2 years, that's $12,000 off of your student loans. So that's kind of an amazing perk to this. You also get non-competitive eligibility for federal jobs the year after your year of service. That means all things considered equal, as a VISTA, you would get that position over somebody who wasn't a VISTA. We've also hired, I believe, 5 VISTAs into our program as well. So currently we have 13 positions across Texas, and we have 8 that are open. They're online at MyGov. Was it AmeriCorps.gov, I believe? You can apply for them there. Just search for TPWD. And we have some in Austin, some in Houston area. We're trying to reach the underserved groups in some of our more urban areas. And these are some of our social media contacts. You can get a hold of us or check out what we're doing at Texas Parks and Wildlife on Facebook. If you haven't ever visited that Facebook page, just do it for the pictures. It's amazing. Also at TPW Volunteers, you can check out what our volunteers are doing and see where our needs are as well. Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, we do it all. That's part of that social media team. And then our state park ambassador social media. Again, the state park ambassadors, after they finish their service, they become ambassadors and kind of help the new ambassadors that are up and coming. They're the alumni. Any questions? If you have any questions, please visit Ola and myself in our room. Thanks and gig 'em and beat the hell out of Auburn.
Thank you so much. We're kind of running on time here. We're going to move into our breakout rooms. But first, I just wanted to let everybody know that later today at 3:30, we'll be back in this room. We have our acting deputy director of the National Park Service, David Vela, is with us today. He happens to be here with us. Let everybody know who you are. Awesome. Thank you for being with us, sir. And Anthony Vela, Chief Ranger. San Augustine is with us. We have former director Bob Stanton is with us as well. And then Mr. J.T. Reynolds, National Park Service advocate, as well as a former superintendent of Death Valley. So there's some really incredible men that are going to be sharing their experiences, who we are in the National Park Service, where the National Park Service is going as far as the 21st century. So right now what we're going to do is, I've run out of time, but we have two National Park Rangers with us today. They're going to share just like 5 seconds of how awesome their experience is working in national parks. So I've got Rosaline Ferrioli. They're both stationed here in Texas. We partner a lot with Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, so it's great to have them here with us. But I'm going to have them share just a little bit about their experience. They were both in the Pro Ranger program. Two of my favorite students that I was able to kind of cultivate through this program. Rosie, why don't you tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Hi, everyone. My name is Rosie Ferrioli. I'm a park ranger law enforcement at Padre Island National Seashore. I began the Pro Ranger program in 2011 when I was a sophomore at college. So I went to school in San Antonio, Texas. When I started into the Pro Ranger program, I had no idea what national parks were. I don't even think I've ever been to a national park, and if I did, I didn't know it was a national park. So I got involved because Dr. Merritt actually went to one of my classes and, spoke about the Park Service, showed me a lot of cool pictures about all these national parks, and I'm like, oh, wow, that seems like something I wanted to do. I had already started, focusing my career towards law enforcement and criminal justice. I was like, why not combine, this great experience with what I already want to do? So I began my career with the Park Service. The first park I actually worked at was Padre Island National Seashore, which is where I'm at now. Afterwards, I went and did an internship at San Juan National Historic Site and Yellowstone National Park as well. Once I graduated through the program and I became a full permanent ranger, I worked at Independence Hall and then at Everglades, and now I've been working at Padre for about 4 months now. So, yeah.
Good morning. My name is Chris Fontenot, and I started the Pro Ranger program in 2017. I was a junior in college at the time, and it was a 2-year program, so I had to extend my graduation date for a year. But the program was so amazing on paper that I wanted to take that chance and take that shot on this opportunity. Dr. Merritt, this great fella, gave me that chance, and I ran through the door, and I didn't look back. So my first internship was at Lyndon B. Johnson National Historic Park as an intern ranger, which I got lots of public speaking skills during those 12 weeks. And my second internship was at Colorado National Monument as a commissioned ranger. This is my first time actually wearing a badge and a gun. Whenever he first came and talked to us in class, I didn't know that I was going to be a cop when he said park ranger. I just thought it was a good opportunity for a good job, so I took advantage of it, you know. And now I'm currently stationed at Amistad National Recreation Area, which is in Del Rio, Texas, on the west side, in the desert pretty much. And we deal with border security, hunting violations, fishing, and overall the Pro Ranger program is a great opportunity to get yourself in the federal service and just opportunity to start your life and your career.
Thank you all very much. So again, we really appreciate y'all being with us today. We're going to have some workshops now. Just decide where you want to go. AGLS 127, you'll hear from Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. AGLS 200, you'll hear about the National Park Service. We'll switch at about 11:30 if you want to switch off and hear more about the agencies that are of your choice. Thank y'all for being with us today. Have a great one. Thanks a lot.